Okay, so this is Madison Mantooth that we have with us today, and I'm Miss Parker here at Polk County High School. So just to go along with our series of talking to recent grads and people who have been graduated for a while and who are out working, we have Madison with us today, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and just tell us when she graduated and what she's doing right now.
Okay, so I'm Madison Mantooth, and I graduated in the class of 2020. And right now, I'm actually sitting in the parking lot at UTC. And so that's that's the school I chose. And my major is secondary education with a concentration in English.
Awesome. I love that. Can you just tell us, I mean, obviously your senior year was a little bit different than we had anticipated. But can you just tell us, just walk us through senior year? What were you thinking, in August or September about this time last year? What were you thinking about where you might go? What schools were you looking at? And then walk us through how you made your decision.
Oh my gosh. Well, for me, it was kind of crazy. You probably remember this. I was like dead set on UT or Lee.
Yeah.
Like UTC wasn't even really an option. And then I visited Lee and like I liked it, but it just didn't feel very homey, if that makes sense. And then I love UT, but I just didn't want to live in Knoxville because it's so expensive and it's kind of far. And I just wanted to be able to like be closer to my family.
Yeah.
And so like in the fall, it was like UT or Lee. And then spring came around and I was like, like I'm not really vibing with either of those. And so I kind of started looking, and about, like February, March, you start getting all your like financial aid award letters in.
Yes.
Well, I started looking at that, and I had good scholarships at Lee. I had good scholarships at UT, but I had really good like scholarship to out of pocket ratio here that I didn't have at UT or Lee. And I was like, oh, like I didn't even think about that really as an option. And so I was talking to my dad one day and I was like, I think I'm just going to do it. I had never been on campus. I had literally maybe watched like a video or two. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. And I love it. It's the best decision I've made.
I love it. And I love you said that because I do remember it was like UTK from the get-go.
Yeah.
And then Lee kind of snuck in there for a little bit. I think you met
Yes.
people there, but it's so neat that you ended up at UTC.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I really decided until like May 1st, like decision day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just kind of looked and I was like, I think I'm going to do UTC. And my parents were like, they were like, where did this come from? And I was like, I guess we'll see.
I love it. Hey, and that brings up a really good point because I know I preached it to you guys. I preach it this year. Apply for schools, do your FAFSA, do your Tennessee Promise, do the UT Promise. And that allows you to have options, right?
Oh, yeah. I applied for tons of schools, like even if they were just like a thought in my brain.
Yeah. So
like,
tell me about some of the scholarships. So what did you get? I mean, without being really specific.
Yeah.
What did you get at UTC that you wouldn't have gotten at UTK?
So the thing is that the just baseline cost of tuition at UTK is higher, and my scholarship amounts were the same for both schools. And because tuition here is cheaper, my out of pocket was cheaper after my scholarship got taken out.
Gotcha. And
yeah.
Can you tell us if you're living on campus or are you living at home and commuting?
So because of Corona, I chose to live at home and commute because all of my classes are online right now. Like, I don't actually have to come down here for a single class.
Wow. Does anyone have the option to take classes on campus right now?
So when I first got my schedule, I freaked out a little bit because it said that 4 of my classes were on campus, and within the first 2 weeks, they all got moved online.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Any idea what the spring is going to look like for you guys as students?
They think about the same. I know they're really pushing to have us like back at school by like around like the 20th of January and have us out by the end of April.
Okay. And is that what you guys are doing right now? Did you get a fall break or are you going through?
No, we don't. We had class on Labor Day and we have no fall break, but our classes end the week before Thanksgiving, and then our finals are like the first week of December, and they're all online.
Good. So that works out well. gosh, you guys have had a crazy couple months. That is
It is so crazy.
so crazy. Well, we're all here. Everybody watching this video right now, we're here. We're wearing masks and getting through it, but we're excited. I mean, I even love just that we can jump on and talk to you guys, and
Yeah.
can't have you in, but I love that our students can still hear from you. So, all right. So what advice do you have for us? Maybe it's a senior, maybe it's a freshman watching this. What advice do you have for a high school student right now who's like, I have no idea what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do for a job. I don't know if I want to go to school. What advice
I
do you
think,
have for them?
like, I don't know. I would say don't limit yourself. Like, if there's something that is even a thought in your brain, like, or would just be convenient, like, apply for it and set yourself up for it. Because, like I said, like, I literally did not decide until May 1st. I literally got on Instagram and saw everyone's decision day post, and I was like, guess I better get on that, and decided, yeah.
But it worked out well for you.
It did.
What, I know it's a little hard to say what's your favorite thing about UTC when most of your classes are virtual. But even with that said, what are you enjoying about UTC? What do you like?
I love the location of it. I love Chattanooga because, like, it's, like, big enough, but it's not, like, huge. And I really like the size of UTC because, like, for, like, those first couple weeks, like, I got to know people in my classes, and then, like, it's so small that, like, you'll just see them, like, walking around campus and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so the size, because I remember, like, when we toured UT, there was just so many people constantly.
Yeah, it's definitely larger. And you guys are used to a little bit more of a smaller environment here.
Yeah,
Have you
exactly.
been able to get involved in anything at UTC?
So I went through recruitment and I joined a sorority, or I got a bid, technically. And I love it. Like, if you're someone like me who is doing the most in high school, like doing everything, and then you come to college and you're just doing nothing, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
Like, the first week, because recruitment was like after you start school. And so the first week, I remember I literally was sitting in the library here and I was like, I like have nothing on my schedule. Like, what am I doing with my time? And now I have so much on my schedule with it, but I love it.
Because all you're doing at that point is you're just going to class.
Exactly. And that was so weird to me.
Yeah. And so here in high school, you're here from 8 to 3, or whatever, but college is not like that. So if you were taking classes on campus, what would that look like for you, time-wise and day-wise? When would you have classes?
Somehow I got lucky and I didn't have a Monday class or a Friday class, but I had a class at 11 and 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then I had a class at 10 and a class at 1:30 on Wednesdays.
Okay. So how do you manage your time?
The first thing I do in the week is I get up early Monday morning and I get out my planner and I get on our, like, system is called Canvas, and I have a planner where, like, my classes, like, each have a column throughout the week.
Yeah.
And so I'll just, like, write on the day something is due, like a little checklist, and then I just go through and check them all off when I get them done.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How has the classwork in college been different than your coursework in high school?
There's a lot less, like, outright instruction. Okay. It's, like, a lot of assignments are your interpretation of, like, what the instructions are. Okay. And I feel like high school kind of lacks, like, a read this and then boom, you have, like, a quiz on it. Like, I feel like in high school you have, like, assignments and things building up, and a lot of my classes are just read chapters 4 through 6 and then take the quiz, and I'm just like, 4 through 6, like, that's 100 pages. Like, what are we talking about here?
So your teachers here definitely do a good job of teaching and explaining, and you're doing it together, right?
Yes.
There's kind of that drop off when you get to college. You're going to do a lot, and then you're going to be expected to know it for the test. So that's good.
I will say this though, the professors are not as scary as, like, you think they are. Like, I have gotten on, because now with Corona we have, like, Zoom office hours, So you can literally just get on, and if you have a question or something, they're always like more than willing to help you.
That's awesome. So,
but you just cannot be afraid to ask.
Yeah. So even though UTC is this bigger public college, it's a lot bigger than Polk County High School, right?
Yeah.
You haven't experienced them being scary or not being able to ask questions.
No. Like, I have my psychology class. There's 290 people in that class.
290.
Yes, like, and all on a Zoom, which I didn't even think was possible. And I guess because it's like a school, they can do that. But I got on Zoom one day, and like before class started, I was scrolling through, and I was like, gosh, this is like never ending. And so I clicked like the participants, and I was like, and I had literally just emailed her the day before, and she got back to me within like an hour.
Wow.
So like, even though the classes are huge, they're still willing to help you. You just have to ask them.
Yeah, that's impressive. And it'll be neat for you to be able to be in a class like that at some point and see what it's like.
Yeah.
Too. So tell us, you told us a little bit about your major. What led you to that decision? And do you feel so far that that's something you think you want to stick with?
I feel like I'm the worst person to ask this to, because I was like always dead set on just being a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, that never really like wavered for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like I don't have a great answer for that, because it was just like, that's just what I wanted to do.
That's what you want to do. No, and that's okay. Some people like that. And then some people are going to say, gosh, I still don't know what I want to do, you know?
Yeah.
So that's good. And then, but you've always wanted to do that. You're a couple months into college. That's still what you want to do.
Yeah. When I think it was my junior or sophomore year for Miss Thomason's class, actually, we had to job shadow, and I job shadowed a teacher. And then on my own, I went and job shadowed something. I don't know. It was like some ridiculous job that I would never in a million years actually do, just to see. And I was like, nope. And so then I went back and just kind of started watching my teachers, and I was like, yeah, this is it.
Okay. Tell me about some of the qualities that some of your teachers here have that made you say, wow, I really want to do that one day.
Oh my gosh, Miss Faulkner, obviously. Like, the way she can break things down and still be organized, and even if there's like a full out crisis in the classroom, she's still just like so graceful about everything. I was like, that is what we need to be.
Awesome.
For sure.
And do you have a preference? Do you know if you want to do elementary, middle, or high school?
High school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. And now you were involved in yearbook here, or is that something that you'd want to be able, you'd want to do one day?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think being like a yearbook advisor would be great.
Are there any opportunities for you to get involved in something like that at UTC that you haven't yet?
Know of yet, but like I said, it's been so weird because of Corona. So like, there aren't like tabling events where like you can see like all the things. Like, it's a lot of just finding it out through older people that are like in those things. And like I said, because like almost every class here is online, it's really hard to meet people.
Yeah. Hopefully that will change soon. And then you can get a little bit more about that. Okay. Any advice that you have for any student, 9th through 12th grade?
Yes, but especially for freshmen, join the clubs, do the sports, like do all the things you can.
Okay.
Because like, for me, like, I remember talking with people like at UTC and like, or even like recruitment, like what were you involved in high school? And I was always like, oh gosh, like, this is a list. And then people would just like look at me like, all of that. And I'm like, yeah, like, and they were like, so I think that's why like partially my time management is so good, was because I had to learn to do it earlier than most kids. Yeah. And so I think like, join the clubs, try out for the teams, like, do the extracurriculars, because you really benefit from having to adjust and balance all that.
Yes, I think that's great advice. And I think this is all going to come in handy too when you're finished with school and you're going, on your first job interview. They're going to be able to see the things that you were able to do and still maintain good grades through high school and college. Of course, we know with teaching and working in a school, you're constantly juggling different things, especially in a year like this. Our teachers are doing a lot of extra things this year. So I think that's great advice, and it's just going to help you be a better teacher one day.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, we are really proud of you. It's really great to see and hear from you
Yes.
today.
It was so good talking to you.
You too. It was great to see your face. So we'll keep in touch and you keep us posted. And we're, like I said, we're just really proud of you. So thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
Yes, of course.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.